Express Auto transmission again. We've got a 45 RFE, a 66 RFE out of a 2012 Dodge Ram 2500 with a 5.7 Hemi. Truck came in on a flatbed. The front drive shaft decided it did not want to be a part of the truck, and in turn it broke the rear of the transmission, broke the tail housing, broke the bell housing, broke the transfer case. So we're going to tear this thing down today and get it ready for a recase and try to get another Dodge back on the road. We're going to start with taking off the extension housing, which took the biggest part of the abuse. A lot of guys wonder what happens when their U-joints fail. This is it.
Typically, whenever you're taking this extension housing off, you have to use in-wrench on most of the top bolts. We've got a nice open window here to get the bolts today, so we'll use it.
Typically, we don't like to use a chisel on a transmission, but this one's already broke. Extension housing off. I'm going to remove the snap ring on the rear. Pull out the parking gear off the back. They seem to get a little stuck sometimes. A little magnet, a little bit of wiggle. Should come off of there. Same thing on the pan. We don't normally like to use a chisel, but front drive shaft decided it wanted to eat the pan too, so we're going to use a chisel. Transmission pan. Next, we're going to take off our filters.
My goodness, there's a ton of valve body bolts.
Which Dodge doesn't tell you. All those bolts means horsepower. You want to go fast? Got to put more bolts in.
It's got a spin on like an Allison, but it's inside the pan.
Yep, same theory. Cooler line filter. Try to keep all the debris out of it. Remove our main filter. Be careful with that little bolt. You can lose that guy and you can't ever find another one. It's a hard little bolt to come by, so don't lose that.
Are these bad about leaving the seal in the port when you do the gaskets?
Yep, the seal stays in there, and
So you get a new seal or you reuse
yep,
it?
every time we put a filter in, it comes with a new seal. We'll put a new seal in there. All those bolts, and you only need about 6 of them to take the valve body. is the entire valve body. That's the solenoid pack. That's what actually controls this turkey. Now, we'll start taking the top out of it. Remove our big snap ring that holds your front plate in.
You need a bigger bucket.
I need a bigger bucket. You are right. Gotta take out our cookie sheet. That one is just flat stuck. Yep. Well, there's an O-ring on there, and that O-ring, she gets hot and cold so many times, eventually it just gets stuck. A lot of guys will reuse the cookie sheet, and I'm not a firm believer in that. I think if it needs to be replaced, we should replace it.
If you run into a lot of people not wanting to pay for stuff like that,
Yeah, well,
try to
either
do it the cheapest way they can.
pay and do it right the first time.
Terry wasn't there.
Yeah, that one there is just, she just flat hung. On the early ones, you always had to watch the front there because they were bad about getting stuck, but I guess the late ones are going to be the same way. That's our new cookie sheet. As you can see, we put some marks on her. The seal on these guys typically doesn't have a big problem, but anytime we build them, we like to replace this, make sure that that sealing surface hasn't been damaged by knocking the seal out and driving a new seal in. We'll set that off to the side. Remove the pump.
It's kind of a crazy looking pump compared to GM's.
Yeah, Dodge is definitely not known for doing anything normal. They like to try to trick everybody. Same thing on pump as the valve body. You got 6 bolts holding her in. Put all those to the side. We'll wash all that stuff. That is your pump body and stator as a whole assembly. Next, we're going to pull out the part that's made of magic, input drum. We'll set this to the side, and later on we'll do a tear down of the input drum and actually show you what all's inside of that guy. Biggest thing right now is we want to get our case empty and get us a clean working surface again. That's snap ring likes to get stuck, so I like to give them a jolt, get them freed up. You never have enough flathead screwdrivers for this operation. Work the way around her. Out comes your snap ring. Snap ring is beveled on one side, and it's very important which way this guy goes in. Stay tuned later, we'll show you how to put this in right so you don't have it come back to bite you. That support can give you some headache trying to get out once in a while, so I like to lay them on their side. That guy out, get down to your next set of clutches. Standing back there. I don't even know what that thing does, but we'll put it back in there. Dodge put it in there for some reason.
Is it kind of like a spacer?
No, that snap ring actually sits on the front side of that support and keeps that support located in the case. If you don't put that snap ring back in there, your support will fall, and whenever it goes to apply the 2/4 clutches, it'll ruin some things. Start moving some clutches out. This last planetary we're gonna pull out, you have to be careful. It's big and it's ugly. If you get your fingers caught down there, it'll take them off. Everything comes out. Yep, Casey's our videographer here and taking down this Dodge train that came out of that 2012. The one that broke everything. They decided that they didn't need the front drive shaft anymore, so out it came. So they decided they didn't need that front drive shaft anymore, so it came out the side. Broke the bell housing off, broke the tail housing off. No, the truck decided it didn't need a front drive
I
shaft.
got you now. I thought I was really lost.
There it is.
And that's it, that's the bottom of the case. Now we have a giant chunk of scrap metal. Maybe we can make a sink out of it, I don't know.
Make some beer cans out of it.
There you go, we'll make some beer cans out of it. Well, we'll start cleaning parts and go the other direction.